Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Whitty's Gear Review. A couple subscribers left comments into the channel that they wanted to kind of see some budget multi-tools. So today we're going to kind of take a look at three budget multi-tools that I purchased. Like I said, I purchased these with my own money. Nobody sent them to me. But they are budget multi-tools, and I'm going to kind of go over the ones that we have here. The first one we're going to start off with, and I'll leave links in the description to all of these, but this one is the GHE 841. Now, I took this on a camping trip. I used very little. I used the blade a little bit and the scissors, but other than that, I didn't really use any of the other components. But this is a pretty hefty tool. It feels, like it's quality weight, but not overly heavy. But this comes in right around 24 bucks. And one thing that I noticed right off the bat is it's got the 5CR15 MOV, which isn't high-end quality by no means. They're just now making VG10 and stuff like that and some multi-tools, but it's not horrible. And that sheep's foot blade comes in pretty sharp. Now we can just, look at it on a piece of paper, just, as a small check, that the blade does come in sharp. So it will cut even small little finer curls of paper. So it comes, from the factory, pretty sharp. It's got a good sized blade. It is locking, so the blade does lock. Just press it right there, and it's, it's a one-handed operation. The next thing you have are these giant scissors on there. And it's kind of tricky with these. You have to open it all the way to allow it to spring in. Once it springs in, it catches and it locks, and then it makes itself open. And once you have it open, you can do what you want to with it. But those are some pretty good scissors. I actually like the way the handle feels, and I like the way they did the spring design there. They're really good scissors. They cut real easy. They seem like they fit good in your hand. So I do like the scissors on this. On this one, you just have your cross file. There's no files on the edges. And on this side, you just have a ruler. But this is a pry bar / bigger flathead screwdriver. So you do have that option on this. And lastly, I think, right, we did scissors, knife, file, and then you've got your saw. And these are, you could feel this, some of the cheaper and multi-tools, you could run your finger across that and nothing, right? It doesn't, they're kind of dull. These are super sharp. And it's kind of hard to see the pattern on there, but aggressive teeth. I have no question that it'll cut wood. I've cut fat wood with it. That's what I used it for. You can kind of see some markings, and it had no problem with that. So I'm pretty confident those will cut. You've got your nice little deep pocket carry clip there. Pretty stout. It's not, super deep. You're not going to conceal the whole thing, but it's going to sit fairly deep in your pocket. Just wanted to give you all a close-up look at the, the machining on the tool, how it's painted, how it's put together. These are just like some little plastic bumpers, I guess. I don't see anything, no reason for those other than for, decoration. Now this tool comes in 3 different colors. I chose the black. It also comes with the blue scales and then silver on silver, so it'd be completely silver. Now going to the plier head, this is where all 3 of these tools kind of differ, but you can see there, pretty good set of plier heads with tungsten replaceable wire cutters. These are spring-loaded pliers, but a really nice set of, and really decently milled needle nose pliers on this tool. Then when we go to everything that's on the outside here, you have no fingernails. You have an awl. You have a can opener with a small little flathead, or I said can opener, bottle opener. Then you have your can opener with your wire stripper or rope cutter, whichever. So those are the 3 tools that you have on this side. We go to the reverse side. You have your little rope cutter slash maybe gut hook, you can see. And then you have your Leatherman style bit driver. And it comes with just a single bit that's flathead on one side, Phillips on the other. But it's magnetic. It holds in there. You don't have to worry about losing it. It does lock to unlock everything. Just like a lot of Leatherman tools, just press it there. And every tool on the inside locks with this lock. Every tool on the outside locks with a liner lock or like a frame lock kind of device. If you look, you can hear it snap in, and then you just press it there. So that's tool number 1. Like I said, this came off of Temu. It does have the 5 CR15 MOV knife on it, so not a bad tool for the money. Like I said, this is coming in right at $24. Not a lot to talk about with the case. I mean, it's just a basic nylon case if you choose to carry it on a belt, but it does have a belt clip. So it's multi-tool number 1. Put it aside. All right, the next thing we have goes into a little bit more detail. So there you have the tool itself. I'll show you those once we get into the tool. But this is the Decoyu. And if y'all aren't familiar with Decoyu, there are 100 of I guess knife and multi-tool guys on YouTube. Check some of them out because they all swear by this tool. That's why I bought it. Just like y'all, right? Y'all watch a video, you try to get an understanding of whether it's quality or not, and then you make a decision whether you want to purchase something or not. I have seen this brand pop up so often, and everybody, you know, when you hear the phrase Leatherman killer, this is not a Leatherman. By no means. It is not an exact replica of a Leatherman. They have changed this tool to make it different. I guess when people use the term killer, it's strictly because of functions of the tools, reliability of the tools, and price. This is going to be a reliable tool. They're made well, but the price is what makes it different. When you're looking, this is in line with the Leatherman Signal, which the Leatherman Signal is going to be, what, $130, $140? And, you know, you're coming in right at, I believe this one's right at $24 on AliExpress. And you can't, I mean, $24, you can't beat that. But I'll show you some of the differences, but let's get into the tool. So first, you got the nice black, everything's black on this one. They sell this in, man, they have it in red, light blue, and when I say the colors, I'm talking about the scales, right? This outside. You have red, light blue, black, green. You have black on black, black scales, black tools, tan and black is which I have here, and then silver on silver. But like the first tool, these all lock into place with a liner or frame style lock. So you have your knife on one side, your saw on the other, and again, really aggressive teeth. These are a little bit more aggressive than the first tool we looked at, but still super sharp. It's got a nice taper to the blade. I like the bigger thumb holes on this tool. Just, it's so easy to get these out with just one hand. Just a good look at the fit and finish on this one. And yeah, don't get me wrong, you could see a lot of signal in it, but there are differences that make this tool completely different. They took from the styling, right? I mean, I've seen a lot of, this is an actual brand. You can actually get on Temu and AliExpress and a lot of those Wish, and you could find exact clones. Some of them even say Leatherman on them. But when you get it, it's not. You can tell by picking it up the first time you open it, it's nowhere close to a Leatherman. This is actually a legit company. They basically looked at the signal, said, hey, that's a good seller in the United States. Let's make something that's, has the same form and function. Maybe not the exact quality, but form and function, but with decent quality. Let's put it that way. And then let's change a couple things to make ours unique. And that's exactly what they did. So on the outside, like I said, you just have the two tools. You do have this, and I chose to go this route. This is what's different than the Signal. The Signal's a lot harder to access this particular tool, which I have plenty of fire starters. This one is a knife sharpener. I chose to go with the diamond carbide knife sharpener over the tiny furrow rod. I didn't really think that I needed that. I have plenty of those. And then you have a small little whistle on the end. Like always, we'll try the whistle out. It's pretty high pitched, in a bind. If you didn't have another whistle, you have one here. And the tool locks, nice on the front there. My dogs heard me knocking, so now they think it's the mailman. Sorry about that. My fault. But on the top of the tool, you have your little carabiner style, belt loop clip. You have this part, which is it's unique because on one side it could hold a 4mm, and then on the other side it holds the 5mm bits, and also a 5mm bit on the end there. Now we'll go ahead and look at that part. In the case, you're gonna have your extra bits, which like I said are 5mm, and then it comes with some extra carbide wire cutters, some extra screws, and a wrench to change them out. I just left it in the pack. But we'll grab one of these tools out, and there you go. It's in there well, right in the end. Pretty decent ergonomics to use that. Now, what I want to find to make this tool a little bit better is if I could find, it's a little harder than I thought to find these 5mm bits. I would like to find a 5mm extension that I could put in there to get a little further distance. If not, I could take a 1/4 inch, grind it down, and I could make a 5mm extension. Just to have that extra reach to get further away from the tool. If you were in a tighter area and you needed to get in a smaller space, it would help to have an extension, in my opinion. But this is a hammer end, is what they're calling the hammer end. Also, I was looking at this, and with the way this handle's designed, you could also use that if you needed to. That's just flat. That's just got a little bit of knurling on the end of it. But not a bad tool. Now, when we go to the internal tools, this one lacks a little bit in internal tools because, you know, there's just not a lot of space with this configuration. But it's basically the same things you always see, right? You got your bigger flathead. You got your bottle opener. You got your slim flathead. But what I like about this one is slim flathead, but they utilize the rest of it, and it is a crosscut file on one side and a standard file on the other. Then you have your awl, and then you have your can opener, also with the wire strippers on the bottom. So, bottle opener, file, smaller flathead, your awl, your can opener with your wire strippers. And these do lock. So once you get it in there, you're good and locked. Just like the other one. Press the button to release and you're good. Flip it back over to this side. You do have the same style, you know, not completely concealed, but still a deep carry pocket clip. It's got pretty good spring retention on it. And nothing on the other side of the tool, because that's where you just have your hammer and stuff like that. So this is more of an 8-in-1. But one thing I noticed with this tool is a lot of tools come with scissors. This one does not have scissors, but it came with a free gift. This is how it came in this pack, and these were in a separate little piece of plastic. And it came with these little Decoyu scissors. They're super lightweight. It's got a little file on there. It's got a pocket clip so you can carry it independently. That's just what I use to clip it on the bag. And I thought, heck, you know, stick it right here on the outside. It almost seems like it was made to fit there. And now I have my bit driver and my multi-tool and some extra parts. So, and it all fits in the one little case. And then you're good to go. So not a bad little tool. These are coming in, like I said, right now around $24. It does have a pocket clip. So not a bad tool. Got that one out of the way. Oh, we didn't even talk about the plier heads. Let's look at those. Now, this is the only tool out of the 3 that is not spring-loaded. But that might not be a bad thing to some. And if you can see there, they're starting to put that gap in for hard wire, like Leatherman does now. So, pretty unique. Not all of the budget multi-tools have that little gap in there. And at the bottom, you have your wire crimpers right here. And a nice little narrow set of needle nose. So let's kind of do a comparison real quick. I know we're talking about one tool and then going to the other, but I guess it'll help. So you can kind of see a difference between the two. So these are a little more refined and just has a little more aesthetics to it, where these are just more typical. But not bad tools at all. I really like this one. I haven't carried it yet. I have carried this one, and this one worked well. But I like the fact that it came with the scissors. And then the last one we have here. The case is a little bit better. It's more Leatherman-like. But you can hook it on the molly. You can hook it onto a belt. Got the Velcro. But this tool was really cool, and I'm really glad that I got it. So this is the Trident Titanium. And this is a solid tool, guys. I'm going to tell you, I was impressed with it when I took it out of the box. Let's talk about the outside. So you have the titanium scales, and this thing, they sell this with like a I couldn't even explain it. Kind of looks like oil. You know what oil looks like in water? That's what it looks like on another set of titanium scales. I didn't choose that. I went with the Bear. But it also comes in stainless. You could get it in G10. But I chose to go, the step up and go with the titanium scales. Now, I did not order a belt clip for this one. You could go up a model, and it comes with a belt clip. But I did not get it with this one. But you could get on Koyu on AliExpress, and if you find one of these tools, keep scrolling through the options, and then you'll start seeing where they sell replacement pieces. Like this one came with replacement cutting heads, but they do sell those separately. They also have part numbers where they sell the blades, scissors, so you could buy all the spare parts for these tools. So you don't have to worry about if you accidentally break something and, am I out of a tool? Especially when you're going to pay a little bit more for this one. But this is more in the Surge category, where everybody knows a Leatherman Surge is an expensive 150 plus multi-tool. If you got it in titanium, I could only imagine what it would cost. This thing's 49 bucks. And it is, we'll get into it. This is one of my favorite multi-tools that I've got. And again, this is the Koyu Triton. Well, let's go back to the outside. I'm going to do something real quick. Bear with me. Just got a light with UV. I'm going to shine these up a little bit as if they were sitting outside. So you can see the glow on that. It's got the little tritium inserts. And there we go. I just think that's great for, having your tool and just, camping, anything, man. If it's not super bright to where somebody's going to see it and it's going to give away your position. But if you drop this thing at night, man, that's the last thing you want to lose is your multi-tool. So I thought that was pretty cool. Good little aesthetic addition of putting the tritium beads in there. But overall, just look at the milling on this thing. You can see the brass washers on the inside. All right, let's bust into some of the tools on this one. All right, there you have your knife, which is super sharp. The knife on this one comes in at 440A. So you got a 440A knife, and these scissors are a lot like the other pair. 440A scissors. And all the other tools on this, minus the pliers, all the other tools are 420 J2. So the file, everything else, saw, they're all 420 J2. But saw's pretty sharp. I mean, really, really sharp. And of course, like I said, you got your scissors. This one's the same way. I don't know if they're all like that, where you got to kind of open them and then you hear it click in. I don't know if that's real similar to the other tool. I'm shining myself with the UV light. The tools are a lot similar, or the scissors are a lot similar to this one. Oh, just trying to get them. You can see some similarities, but they're not identical. But good set of scissors on this one. Also, you know, with the liner locking. And you have your file, or that's your saw, sorry. And you got your file. You got your cross cut. And then you have your ruler. You know, on a lot of these, I think that's one of the downfalls to this is it's a pretty good crosscut file. The ruler, man, I can't think of a time where I really used one of these, to be honest. I've got other ways of measuring in most everything I carry. Maybe you use one, but I'd much rather seen them put a diamond carbide file on this side. I think that would have made this tool so much better. That's all you got on the outside. Let's jump into the inside. So there you got your pliers, which you've got your, you know, your standard, and they're the pliers on these. Okay, so they're like all the others. They're the K40 tungsten. You can see these are a little more rounded. That's more of a true needle nose. Get these other ones closed up and we'll look at it. And then these are a little less of a needle nose, but these would be the furthest, more of a round nose to these. But they're spring loaded, and you can just tell that's just oil or something on there. But they're made really well. I mean, this is a beefy tool, but man, it's got quality to it. Now, if you jump over to this side, and this is like an 18-in-1. You're gonna have your regular flathead, or your flat bit, just like most Leathermans, or all Leathermans, I guess, nowadays. Phillips flathead. You can hear a good positive lock when you put it in there. On this side, you just have like a little fish scaler or box cutter, and then your wire stripper. That's all that's on this side. You flip to this side of the tool. You've got probably the most aggressive can opener out of the three. And you got your little paracord cutter or gut hook, and then your awl. And that's all that comes with this one, guys. But kind of just a quick comparison in size. So you can tell that the signal type, the Decoy U Shadow, is the longest of the tools. These are probably the closest in length and width, but this one's a little more beefy than that one. This is probably the heaviest out of the three tools because it's a lot thicker. But altogether, man, these are three, in my opinion, three good quality multi-tools at a decent price. You know, you're looking at, sometimes you could find these under 20 bucks. I've seen them on sale on Temu where you can get them for like 15. So you got to watch them. At the time of the video, they're 24. Same with this one, 24 bucks. And then, yeah, you're going to pay up 49, 55, whatever, if you want the belt clip. You could get this with different scales. So the price varies, but I'll leave a link. And once you get to that link, you'll be able to scroll through all the different ones if you choose to. But those are the three tools. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Like them, hate them. Either way, people like things that are decent for a budget. I've tried this one. Haven't taken those out in the field, but I'm going to start carrying this one and we'll run it through the paces. So right now we do have our Buy Me a Coffee up. If you want to support the channel, hey, you can go to the Buy Me a Coffee. We have our memberships up. If you want to become part of the family, get insights to, you know, early filming releases or early video releases, videos that I'm only going to post just for members, more of in the life of Whitty's, with a little gear in that. And we also have our Whitty's Gear Review store up, our Whitty's Gear store up. So go over there, check it out. You know, we've got from stickers all the way up to hoodies and stuff in between. So if you want to support the channel, those are the best ways to support the channel, but I'm not pushing anybody to buy anything. I'm not trying to make money off of what everybody's paying on merchandise. It's just a way to get some extra funds back to keep buying some of these tools, to review for y'all, and to let you know what you get when you buy it before you, or what you get in the tool before you buy it. Like always, guys, love y'all. We'll see you on the next one.